Yoga fam, do you want to learn about the sacral chakra? Are you interested to learn what this energy center represents? Have you been searching for lifestyle tips to start your healing process? Well, I've got you covered. In today's video, we're going to discuss all of this. So bust out your journal, find a writing utensil, and let's start this sacral chakra off the mat class. And hey, if you're not officially part of our yoga fam yet, click that subscribe button and bell to be notified every time I post a new video helping you practice yoga both on and off your mat. Now, what we're about to cover today are the same teachings that I share with hundreds of our members inside the Body, Mind, Soul Studio and at our biannual Body, Mind, Soul Detox Challenge, where we literally help you build a holistic yoga toolkit so you can begin that process of breaking free from self-defeating BS and reclaim your wholeness. Essentially, teaching the chakra system is kind of sort of my thing. Now, if you're new to the chakras though, I want you to watch these videos here and here that introduce the system at large, as well as these two chakra challenges that are available for free here in my YouTube channel. All of these are great ways to begin your on and off the mat yoga journey. All right, so let's get started. And we'll start with key sacral chakra basics. The Sanskrit name is Svadhisthana, which translates to one's own place. The location is the lower abdomen. So think genitals, pelvis, sacrum, that entire hip region. The element is water. The color is orange. This is your emotional identity. Feeling is the activity, and it is your right to feel. And the wound or shadow that we brush up against is guilt. The goals here are emotional well-being, healthy sexuality, knowing your needs and desires, enhancing your pleasure, fluid, flexible movement, and really attuning to sensations. Now, why would we want to heal or optimize our sacral chakra? And how the heck does it get out of balance in the first place? Well, we can think of the chakras as these vortexes within our subtle body that act as managers of our energy, and they help process internal and external experiences that we've both had and are now having. And based on the attunement or capacity that we've built, they then shape our physical, emotional, and mental bodies. And typically, chakras operate in one of three states. So 1 balanced, 2 excess, 3 deficient. As we can all guess, balanced is the aim. And deficiency or excess states really develop as coping or defense mechanisms based largely on childhood conditioning, programming, and experiences that were repeated enough that they've now become our adult ways of thinking, feeling, and being. So when we work with the chakra system, the goal is to understand what state am I typically in, process why is that, what happened, and then make lifestyle adjustments to regain neutrality or balance. So with this understanding, let's look at balanced sacral chakra qualities so we at the very least know what direction we are wanting to head in. So when we're balanced here, we're fluid, we're flexible, we're able to easily embrace change without losing our core stability. We've developed emotional maturity and literacy, which helps us pause before reacting and then process and communicate our emotions skillfully. Ooh, I'm working on this one, especially my marriage. We also have healthy relationships with sex and intimacy. We understand the importance of playfulness and having fun for our overall health and well-being. And we're receptive, attuned to our femininity, and really able to say yes to the things that bring us pleasure without guilt. And finally, we've developed a deep emotional core. So we're grounded enough to contain our emotions, but open enough to connect and flow. I lied. There's one more I want to talk about. We're also tuned into our needs and what our energetic capacity is, the current cycle or life season that we're in, and therefore we're able to make decisions accordingly. So let's dive into a deficient sacral chakra, or one that's offline or contracted. And here are some teachings from Anodea Judith and Ashley Turner, who are my teachers. So a deficient Svadhisthana chakra, there's a closing inward or a contraction that's happening. There can be restricted or rigid movement in your physical body, but also with your attitudes and your beliefs. There's a denial of pleasure, play, fun, and sexuality because your inner critic or that excess masculine nature just won't allow it. There's no fun to be had here. You also can have excessive boundaries while in deficiency that result in being dry, stiff, rigid, overly serious, controlling, or adverse to change, which actually results in fragility because change is what bolsters our system's resiliency. There's also a lack of feeling happening here. So it's really difficult to sense your needs, and there's like an overall emotional numbness. And if that's not enough, you can be lacking emotional intelligence, have poor social skills, desire, passion, or excitement. I know that was a very long list. So let me know in the comments if any of these deficient sacral chakra characteristics resonate with you. For me, the denial of play, pleasure, fun, and sex because my inner critic doesn't allow it is a key deficiency, as well as sensing my needs and believing in those needs, the belief part mostly. But knowing this about myself, right? I'm now more inclined to say yes to fun, yes to pleasure, and choosing rest over crossing off just one more task. So our healing really begins with awareness, which is what you're building here with me on and off your mat. So if that resonated, how do we bring a sacral chakra that's contracted back online? These are suggestions, again, based on my studies and teachings. Number one, we want to begin to move the body more fluidly with activities like yoga or dance or swimming or cycling or skating. I'm pregnant, so I really want to start skating, but now's not the time. We also want to incorporate sacral chakra yoga classes into our practice, like these classes of mine here, and here. Spending more time in water is so highly encouraged because it really allows your emotions and psyche to melt and empty. We want to say yes to new opportunities like Shonda Rhimes did in her book, The Year of Yes. Highly recommend it. We want to prioritize fun and maybe even enroll a fun ambassador in your life like I had to, and my husband fulfills this role for me. Another great idea is to infuse femininity into your life through clothing, accessories, the music you listen to, and even how you decorate your living space. Another healing tip is to write yourself permission slips to feel, literally with Post-it notes, and to do this often and regularly. And finally, for deficiency, we want to prioritize developing emotional intelligence by naming what we're feeling and sharing that feeling, even if that's scary or revealing. So all of these healing practices will help us ditch the guilt, believe in our needs, and then receive what we need. Okay, so that was deficiency, when you're closed or contracted. Let's talk about an excess state, or when the chakra is too online, overproducing, or energetically hanging forward. Again, these are suggestions based on my studies and teachings. So when we're in excess mode, we feel most alive in highly intense emotional states. We're often overly sensitive or ruled by our emotions. We feel most comfortable when there's constant stimulation, and we like to constantly be moving. We've also got this sloppy container thing happening, as if there's, you're trying to water the plant, but the water is spilling out before it can provide nourishment. So there's cracks in the foundation, aka our boundaries are weak. Deficiency can also lead to the avoidance of completing things because completion isn't sexy or fun. And finally, your pleasure principle is on overdrive. Indulgence is 100% happening, and there can be sexual acting out or sexual addiction. So that's also a lot to take in, and most likely you're resonating with some of these. Remember, we're building awareness here. We're not identifying these qualities and labeling ourselves as good, bad, right, or wrong. I really want you to treat this information as information to guide your healing process. That's it. No judgment here. So how do we bring an excess sacral chakra that's too online back to the midline, back to a sattvic or balanced state? Number one, we want to build our capacity to experience and contain those emotions versus letting them be sloppy. We want to prioritize slower, more nourishing movement practices like walking, yoga nidra, meditation, restorative and yin yoga, or gentle pranayama. We also want to strengthen and stabilize our pelvis and lower core region, again, to firm up the foundation. We can practice safe emotional expression techniques with the help of a professional. We can cultivate structure as well as strong boundaries by planning our days, weeks, and months and sticking to this plan to the best of our ability so we can really experience that completion that we might be avoiding. And again, creating those deadlines and asking for accountability will help us do this. So that's the sacral chakra. Let me know in the comments which of these healing suggestions for excess or deficiency you want to put into practice. And if you like this off the mat work and you want to continue learning with me, download my yoga reset guide. It's a 7-step journey through the chakra system to recenter your body, mind, and soul and start building that holistic yoga toolkit now. It includes on-the-mat yoga classes, energy aligning exercises, self-reflection journal prompts, and mantras and affirmations. It's a super approachable way to begin working with the chakras today. So details to download the yoga reset guide are in the description below. And if you enjoyed this off the mat lesson, please give this video a like so that I know, share what you learned today in the comments, and don't forget to join our fam by hitting that subscribe button. Thank you for being here. And as always, now the real work begins, right? Taking this information that we've learned off our mats and into our daily lives.